You are listening to Words with the Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. You are listening to Words with the Mad Coach.
Okay, it's Fight Forward 10, February 27th, going down in South Carolina. The fight I want to talk about is Kevin Peraza taking on Kerry Reed. Both of these guys are looking for wins. They're both tall, and neither guy is going to be a ground fighting wizard. And I've already kind of chosen by an article that I wrote, which you can find in the link at the bottom. Peraza probably will have the advantage, okay? And I believe that he takes the fight by decision. So why am I here? I am not here to talk about who wins. I'm talking about how both guys can possibly win this fight with some minor adjustments, things that they need to do. So I try to look at fights a little bit differently than just who has the better technical skills and who's stronger, things of that nature. Let's look at some other intangible factors. You know, when we go into the team, you talk about highest stand that Peraza comes from. As far as I know about them, you know, they have a lot of championship fights. They've got a lot of fighters. They've had a lot of opportunities. And as far as, you know, Reed's team and his background with Glory Martial Arts, I don't see the championship pedigree just yet. I know that, you know, they have access to coaches who've been in the UFC and things of that nature, like Spencer Fisher, but that doesn't always translate over into the fighter. And I'm going to lean that way with, you know, Peraza having the better coaching lineage. And also, one of the things I like to look at is who you fought in terms of how good they were. And I like to look at the bubble. And what I mean by bubble is I look at your fighter, your opponent's pedigree. So I don't stop at the opponent. I look at who they fought, and I look at if they've continued to fight. There are a lot of fighters out there who get that first fight and they don't fight anymore. So I like to believe that you come from a good bubble when you fight fighters who continue to fight. And that is the case again here with Peraza. All of his opponents have moved on to fight other fights, win, lose, or draw, but they've continued to stay in the game. So that means he's in the right bubble. And Kerry's opponent is fighting again Kerry's last opponent is fighting again on this same show. They're just too young in the game to have a catalog as lengthy as Peraza. So right now, that edge again, as far as pedigree goes, against tougher guys, more experience, better team, all of that goes to Peraza. But that doesn't mean that Kerry is out of this fight. Looking at the actual performances, one of the things I noticed in only one fight with Kerry Reed, he just about matches Kevin Peraza in terms of output in just one fight. Now, here's the trick. Usually he comes out and he's somewhat moderate. Then round two, he kind of drops off. He drops off by 50% in terms of output. But I'm noticing that both of these guys do because of the wrestling. They both had wrestlers in front of them, and they both not answered that situation. So in this fight, one of them will have to choose to either be the wrestler, or they both just choose to leave it alone and stand up. I hope they just stand up, because I like the technical skills, the striking skills of both of these guys. And what I've also seen is that Reed can turn it on in the third round. I've always said, if you can turn it on late like that, man, you can share the wealth in every round. You know, keep that energy consistent every round. If you can turn it on like that, you're not tired. Fatigue and conditioning, that's not your problem. Kevin has to stay off his back. Okay. So when I've noticed that he's able to have very good output, Kevin's a little bit different where he goes, his output improves every round. And even in losing efforts, his output tends to stay somewhat consistent, or again, he improves every round, which is pretty impressive that he can improve every round. So neither one of you guys get tired. Neither one of these guys is going to worry about losing focus, losing conditioning. I think what happens in fights like this is the emotional side of it. This idea of protecting themselves, not being embarrassed. And I think you got to put it on the line. I think you got to let it go. And I've come up with some technical details for each fighter in terms of what they need to do if they plan on winning their fights February 27th. So for Peraza, stay technical. Use the jab, use your footwork, pop in and out. That's something I didn't see you do in your early fight, except for the fight with Morgan. You did a good job with that. So just go back to it again. Remain calm. Use your emotions according to the nature of the strike. When you throw your jab, don't let it be lazy. Throw that jab to disrupt your opponent and then hit the angles. And then when you're working the harder strikes, you've got to strike with bad intentions. Set up those head kicks and those rear crosses and uppercuts and hooks with bad intentions. Don't just throw them out to be throwing them out. And then if there's a flurry of any type, where there's one-sided or where it's back and forth, just stay calm so you don't get caught in the middle. Use the cage. Don't force the takedown. Drive your pressure, then release. Pop, 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 pop. Strike on angles, then reshoot. And if he defends, set it all up again. Add the pressure, release. Pop, 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 pop. It's just a game. And don't let the clock tick away. The commentators in one of your early fights, talked about a lot, about the referee breaking you guys up. Well, you have some say-so in that. If you do what I'm saying is you drive pressure, release, pop, 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 go back to the takedown, you might get the takedown, but you'll always be able to get release and throw those shots. So don't let the clock tick away. Don't let the ref interfere. Trust your submissions. Your output drops when you're on your back, Kevin, but you have the tendency to go for subs. Well, why let go of the sub and then put all your energy back into defending? Keep subbing and use it to get up or finish the sub. So in other words, know your transitions. If you're going to throw a sub up, know what the next move is and keep going. You did good in that. And then trust your team. Not only do what they say, but again, let's add that emotion back to it. Let's have some bad intentions. You owe your team at least one fight where you go out on your shield. If you get caught in a bad spot this time, your team's telling you to get up, man, dude, get up, because your conditioning is good. You come from Hayastan, your conditioning is going to be good. You can defend your image or you can defend the honor of your team. And you can't do both by playing it safe. So, dude, no, they're going to love you more if you try to go out on your shield. And I'm not talking about your team. I'm talking about the fans. Trust the old coach. Trust the mad coach. You're going to make more fans if you fight trying to go out on your shield rather than just playing safe. And Reed, let's talk about you. What would Reed have to do to win this fight? Dude, bring the action early. Okay, so in round 3, in your first fight, your output was amazing. You fought off your back. You hurt your opponent. What are you waiting for? You're sitting around doing nothing. If you can do all that in round 3, dude, get up. Number 2, make it chaotic, dude. Peraza does better when he can manage the output. So be yourself. Be an oddball. Be in and out. Be deceptive. Be relaxed. Let your hands go. Be on top. If you have so much power off your back, you should have even more power with gravity on your side. That doesn't make sense that you want to spend so much time on your back in this fight. Set up the power. Don't fall in love with your power. Use angles and footwork to work your way in and then strike. I think the only reason you got caught with a lot of bad takedowns was because you're in a hurry to let your hands go or to let the power go instead of just putting shots together and then bringing the chaos. And stay busy. The one thing that I think you did well in your first fight was that you kept busy, especially when you were on your back, and that's how you were able to get back to your feet a couple times. Do it again. And I think those are the keys to victory for both Peraza and Reed. I still am leaning toward Peraza, but it's a fight, and as my coach would say, you have to fight these damn fights. So we'll see. I am Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.